Hello, welcome to Sarah Overbooked. I am Sarah and today I will be doing my August book haul. These are all the books that I purchased in August, so let's jump right in. As usual, I got an aardvark box, and this month in the box I got Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. This is on my 25 in 2025 list, so I was glad to see it in one of my subscription boxes. And this is following Lottie Jones, who is a retired serial killer, and decades after her crimes were over, she is visited by an investigative journalist, and they start asking questions, and she is afraid that she's going to have to go ahead and start killing again. I also got What Hunger by Catherine Dang. This one, it's the summer before high school, and Ronnie Nugent finds herself too young for work, too old for cartoons. Her days are spent in a small backyard, dozing off to trashy magazines on a plastic lawn chair. In stark contrast stands her brother, Tommy, the pride and joy of their immigrant parents, a popular honor student destined to be the first in the family to attend college. The thought of Tommy leaving for school fills Ronnie with dread as she contemplates the quiet house she will be left alone in with her parents, Ma and Ba. Her parents rarely speak of their past in Vietnam except through the lens of food. The family's meals are a tapestry of cultural memory. Thick spring rolls with slim and salty nem chua. I'm probably pronouncing all of these foreign words wrong, and I apologize for that. And steaming bowls of pho thai with thin, delicate slices of blood red beef. In the aftermath of the war, Ma and Ba taught Ronnie and Tommy that meat was a dangerous luxury, a symbol of survival that should never be taken for granted. But when tragedy strikes, Ronnie's world is upended, and her sense of self and her understanding of her family are shattered. A few nights later, at Ronnie's first high school party, a boy crosses the line and she is overtaken by a force larger than herself. This newfound power comes with an insatiable hunger for raw meat, a craving that is both a saving grace and a potential destroyer. So there's that one. And Katrina has come to help out again, so we'll see how she helps this time. Next one I got is The Once and Future Me by Melissa Pace. And this one, Virginia, 1954. When a woman wakes on a patient transport bus arriving at Hanover State Psychiatric Hospital, she remembers nothing of her life before that moment. None of the dark things she must have seen and done that forged her into the skillful and cunning fighter she is. Doctors tell her she's Dorothy Fraser, a paranoid schizophrenic, committed for her violent delusions. She's certain they're wrong, until disturbing visions of a dystopian future in which frantic scientists urge her to complete the mission and save mankind begin to invade her reality. That one sounds very interesting. If it moves, I'm sorry, I'm putting them back on the shelf that the camera is actually sitting on. So those were the three I got in my aardvark box, and I also got a continuation in one of the series that I've been reading. I've been reading all the Nero Wolfe mysteries, and this one is Trio for Blunt Instruments, classic detective story. If Nero Wolfe and his sidekick Archie would ever admit to an Achilles heel, which they wouldn't, it would be a weakness for damsels in distress. In these three charming chillers, the duo answers the call of helpless heroines with nothing to lose except their lives. So, a lot of the stories in the Nero Wolfe series are short stories, and this is a compilation of 3 of them. And then I got my Book of the Month box, and I got 4 books for this month. So the first one, This Princess Kills Monsters by Rye Herman. This one's been on the list for a while. I was semi-interested in it. I wasn't sure if I was really interested in it when they first put it out, but I ended up getting it this time. The Misadventures of a Fairy Tale Stepsister. Let's see. Someone wants to murder Princess Melilot? Probably pronouncing that wrong, but that's normal with fantasy names. This is sadly normal. Melilot is sick of being ordered to go on dangerous quests by her domineering stepmother, especially since she always winds up needing to be rescued by her more magically talented stepsisters, and now she's been commanded to marry a king she's never met. When hideous spider wolves attack on the journey to meet her husband-to-be, she is eerily similar looking... Oops, skipped a line. She is once again rescued, but this time by 12 eerily similar looking masked huntsmen. Kitty, I can't read when you do that. Soon she has to contend with near constant attempts on her life, a talking lion that sets bewildering gender tests, and a king who can't recognize his true love when she puts on a pair of trousers. And all the while, she has to fight her growing attraction to not only one of the huntsmen, but also her fiancé's extremely attractive sister. If Melilot can't unravel the mysteries and rescue herself from peril, kingdoms will fall. Or worse, she could end up married to someone she doesn't love. That one could be interesting. It also could be awful. But that's how it goes. You never know until you read it. And then I got Cody. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Okay, so if the angle's different, and I'm sure it is, it's because I needed to, or wanted to figure out how to pronounce this properly. And the internet said Kaiki by, I should have looked up the author's name also. I'm not gonna horribly mispronounce the first name, but Patel. So begins Kaiki's story. The only daughter of the kingdom of Kikea, she was raised on tales of the gods, how they churned the vast ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality, how they vanquish evil and ensure the land of Bharat prospers, and how they offer powerful boons to the worthy. Yet she watches as her father unceremoniously banishes her mother, listens as her own worth is reduced to the marriage alliance she can secure, and when she calls upon the gods for help, they never seem to hear. Desperate for independence, she turns to the text she once read with her mother and discovers a magic that is hers alone. With it, Kaikeyi transfers herself from an overlooked princess into a warrior, diplomat, and most favored queen. And there's that one. And then I got Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham. All right, well, Forget Me Not by Stacy Willingham. 22 years ago, Claire Campbell's older sister, Natalie, disappeared shortly after her 18th birthday. Days later, her blood was found in a car, a man was arrested, and the case was swiftly closed. In the decades since, Claire has attempted to forget her traumatic past by moving to the city and climbing the ranks as an investigative journalist, until an unexpected call from her father forces her to come back home to face it all anew. Old plotline, new story. We'll see if this one's any good. And then the last one I got for August was Gillian Flynn's Sharp Objects. I've heard that this one is the best of Gillian Flynn's, and I obviously have not read this one yet. So, fresh from a brief stay at a psych hospital, reporter Camille Preaker faces a troubling assignment. She must return to her tiny hometown to cover the murders of 2 preteen girls. For years, Camille has hardly spoken to her neurotic, hypochondriac mother or to the half-sister she barely knows, a beautiful 13-year-old with an eerie grip on the town. Now, installed in her old bedroom in her family's Victorian mansion, Camille finds herself identifying with the young victims a bit too strongly. Dogged by her own demons, she must unravel the psychological puzzle of her own past if she wants to get the story and survive this homecoming. And that's it. That is all I bought in the month of August. Have you read any of these books? Do you think I will like any of these books? Are any of these books your favorite? And are you now interested in getting any of these books? Let me know down in the comments, and if you made it this far, leave some sort of food emoji in the comments and I will comment back with something. Thank you for watching this quick one, and I will see you next time.